Welcome back and good morning. Not for you probably, but for me, it is a good morning. So the update, quick update, I'm gonna get you caught up real fast. It's rained and it's kept raining and then it rained some more. And now it's 100 degrees. You know, just like that. Boom. It is today, May 20th, and we have to plant within this next month. June 20th is our last planting date. We're the last people in the country to plant cotton, and so still some time. It is wet. There's no water standing really anymore, but there's some black spots still here by the barn, but it's wet. Fix all the washes at my parents' house. It was still too wet here, and then it rained some more and washed them out some more. So those are probably just gonna have to be what they're gonna be for the season, because got to get going. So today I'm gonna try to spray somewhere, probably over at Old Glory. It's some of the weediest, and then just start working my way this way. I do think I want to try to strip till everything still, even though it's getting late. It'd be nice to kind of reshape the beds since we've gotten so much rain and things are slightly flattened. So today I'm going to unhook the disc, get it parked, hook back up to the sprayer, get the sprayer greased and serviced, check it over since hadn't had anything sprayed since we had our last hailstorm, make sure there's no nozzle bodies that are broken, get it loaded with chemical, and then head west, son, and then see how much I can get done today on that. And then anyway, start spraying at least, and then see after that. Well, you also may wonder, and you may not, who knows, I don't know if you wonder or anything, but haven't filmed a bunch while it's been wet. Just not a lot of fun to see what I'm doing there. I mean, I'm doing stuff, but it's not super impressive. I mean, it is impressive. Who am I kidding? But I don't know if you'd want to see it, so I don't film much on those days, but I've been, fiddling, tinkering. Got the brake booster back, or getting it back. Emily's going to pick it up in downtown today so we can fix the grain truck. Wheat is turning fast, and so wheat will be getting harvested very soon. There's spiders at lots of places, and then it's been wet and it's been kind of cool. Now it's not cool. Now it's almost 100 degrees and real windy. It's sunk down a little bit. We've gotten some rain, remember? Oh, I'm gonna need two hands. While that's fueling, I'm going to change these nozzles that are mostly behind the tires. We put a little bit, just a next higher rate nozzle right behind the tires, because we don't want the Roundup, the glyphosate, to get caught up in the dust. So that helps hopefully get a little bit bigger droplet size so it can get to the ground. Make sure I got that. I always got to check. Make sure I got that slot to the back. Alright. Same thing over here. I put this new in. This was all cloudy. It was a clear poly or plastic, and it was all cloudy with fungus among us. So I put this in here. Tank, the water, this is the fresh water. Fresh water tank was full. So when I put this out, I got completely drenched. But it's fixed. Now I have good fresh water here at the back. Alright, enough talking. Alright, I'm unfolded. I'm going to check now for leaks. But first I got to prime this pump. First I got to prime this pump from the fresh water. And then I spray some water through the nozzles, hoping that I don't have any busted nozzle bodies. So, all right, I need to pay attention. All right, I'm spraying now. I'm gonna check and see if I've got any leaks without getting wet. You get the idea. No leaks that I can tell. All the nozzles are spraying good, so I'm in business. All right, turn that off. Back to rate 1. I think that is good. I'll go ahead and turn the pump off. All right, got everything moved over, switched over, greased up. I'm gonna start loading now. This was a little more heavy than usual, all that rainwater. Gonna need to pump the remainder of this tote into that tote over there, but there's 50 gallons right there, and we're just right above or right at 50 gallons, and I need 30 per load. So what I think I'm gonna do, is I'll spray this out. When I load up again, then there'll be about 20 gallons left, and then I'll bring that other tote over with the skid steer. I'll pump the remainder of this tote into there, and this tote can go to the barn. I can load the new one, and then I'll bring all my case material over there in a better spot so that I don't have to walk. So anyways, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm loaded, and the wind is okay. It's a little high, but it's gonna be fine. I'm not gonna be around any susceptible crops, so I'm gonna go spray. I'm here at Old Glory. Man, it's hot and dry. This was I think green yesterday a little bit, and it's a little greener in some spots where it didn't get hailed as bad, but that's just straw. We got so much water. I've never seen this. Broke in over the berm a couple places. But anyways, side note, it's hot and dry, and it is turning this wheat fast. I got a buddy that's gonna cut my wheat this year, and he said some of mine will be ready maybe in a day or two, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, this is the way it kind of looked when it was first hailed out. There are no leaves, hardly. There are no heads left. It just got pummeled. Some on the other end looks better, but I don't think that this is any good. The crazy thing that I was just driving with Dad before I headed over here was that a lot of that weed around Sagerton, around the barn, it has set up a bunch of new heads, and you can see some of that here, but that stuff over by Sagerton, it's crazy. Like, there are heads everywhere, and so I mean, actually cut that wheat, which is crazy to think about, that it was mowed down like it was. But the reason it might make sense to cut the wheat is the way my insurance works is I have what's called enterprise units, and so they bunch all my farms together. You get a better price on insurance. Otherwise, if you bought each farm's standalone insurance, optional units, that's way more expensive to buy. Where if this farm fails, I collect on that. I collect insurance on that, and the other farms aren't affected. With enterprise, this farm may fail, but if the others make enough to offset the loss amount that was over here, well, then you don't get any money off of the field that lost. Like last year, I had like 2 farms fail. I made enough wheat last year on an average year that offset the losses that I had on 2 farms, like 250 acres, which stinks. But that's otherwise that insurance just doesn't make sense. It's just way too expensive. So I need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. So anyways, so yeah, like the wheat looks pretty good right now. So if I make a decent amount of wheat on the other places, which I hope to, then that amount will all get added together with the 0 that maybe almost is here, and I wouldn't collect any. So it might make sense to run over those other fields and get just a little bit, however much, at least as long as it pays the cutter his cost to harvest it. Well, then it makes sense to get it. So 7-8 bushels may cover my cutting cost an acre. So anything over that would be money that I wouldn't get otherwise. So that's why we may end up cutting everything, except for this. Some of this doesn't look very good. All right, so now I'm here at where the weeds are, and they're pretty thick. Mostly some grass right there. If you see, there's some little bitty broadleafs that are poking up, and so I've got 2 chemicals in here. One is glyphosate, and the other is dicamba. Dicamba helps with broadleafs. It does not kill grasses, but glyphosate will kill everything if it's not resistant. And this is at an age where most of this stuff should die pretty good. There's going to be some resistant grass in here. There just is, that I'll have to come back for at a different time maybe with the plow when I cultivate the cotton. But yeah, this it's weedy, but should be getting on. I'm getting on it at the right time, and it should die pretty good. All right, now I got to load the boom, which just means I'm going to push about 15 gallons. Not gallons is the word I was looking for. Push about 15 gallons out to all the nozzles, and that will. You probably can't see that very good, but I'm just watching my volume ticker there. Once it gets to about 15 gallons sprayed, then I will be ready to roll. Man, that was rough. Going across the ends, but after strip tilling, it was rough. So, got a fence on the east side. I got a fence on most of the north side of this farm. So, yeah, just having to navigate all that stuff. See, it's like the first time doing it, not for the season, but in a while. Just gotta be careful. One thing that was unusual, that's never happened to me before, is this was a river. So I'll have to show you later, but man, the whole end of this field where I was going to cross the rows was silted in and water blown in, and all that water came across and then has run down here. And so it's kind of silty there, but this farm is really flat, so there's not much there's not like any gullies or anything necessarily, but man, water was flat running. You know, we got what did we get, 5 inches over here in one rain, 4.5 I think, and so you can just see remnants of just debris that was collected here, cotton stalks, and this was all just underwater, and it all came from across the neighbor's field and then broke in here. I'll try to show you in a second. All right, let me try to. So here's one you can see came along the neighbor's wheat and then broke across and ran down there. But then up there where the end of their wheat and their bare ground meets it all, I won't be there for a while to show you, but if it didn't come down the wheat, it came in, and I think kind of ran across the farm also. So 4.5 inches gotta go somewhere. And then I showed you where the berm broke. I've never seen that berm break. Well, it didn't. I'm glad it didn't break, but it definitely did wash over some. Just a mess of water. So I think it'll be fine. Once I get over here, I'll probably come plow the turn rows at some point during the season, but get the strip till over here, and I'm gonna run it over everything. It'll smooth a lot of that up. Here's the worst of it. It was rough because it broke in there, and now it's going across me, and it's got this kind of sill bars, and makes it just a little bit more rough. And then there's craters there where the strip till was, and I guess it kind of pulled the dirt out of that, which is not necessarily what I want. Okay, here's the worst of it. See my strip till marks? What dirt was soft, water was running across, broke over because it was a lot of water, ripped through all these strip till rows, and then this field's been blowing, and it's just a mess. Finished. I'm gonna go spray this 220 gallons. I'm gonna go spray it out at a farm we call JB's, and then I'll probably load up again. We'll see what the weather looks like, wind and temperature, all that, and I might spray another one. Got this load finished, so folding up, on the go. I'm gonna go back and load up again and at least get this. Oh, I think let me see. I did 22 acres there, so I got about 25 more acres left on this little patch here. And then I've got close to 80 acres there by the barn that's mostly dry. And this next tank should get all that, plus I'll have a little bit left. And then I'll probably work on getting moved over. Excuse me, I don't want to hit this while I'm driving and not paying attention. There we go. I can focus now. This next load will get this and that next patch done. I'll have a little extra. I could, depending on the wind, do around the barn, like actually over the equipment that's at the barn, and then I'm gonna get moved over. The land right around the barn is still holding water and pretty muddy, so I'm gonna jump over near my parents' house and work over there, moving forward, and then I'll come back and finish this over around the land that's around the barn. It is 90 plus right now, which I don't really normally want to spray. On the road here, I don't really want to spray when it's above 90. The chemicals just don't normally work as good. The weeds don't take up the chemical as good. But the difference here is we are not lacking for moisture. The plants are actively growing, so I'm hoping that everything, the weeds and stuff, will still soak up the chemical well because they're not drought stressed. If I was doing this a month or two later in the middle of July, when it does get hot and dry and we are short on moisture, I would for sure not be spraying after it was like 90 degrees, because those plants, they kind of recuperate overnight. They take up what moisture's there, and then through the morning they're okay, but once it starts getting hot, they really kind of wilt back and kind of go into survival mode, and they're not looking at chemicals to take them up. So I think I'm okay now. I'm hoping we'll find out in a week if I should not have sprayed this hot, but gotta get it done. All right, I'm loaded again. It's loud, I apologize. I got this tote empty. The new tote is over there, about to do an exchange here. So I ended up got that as full as I possibly could. I had to put some extra into those because I had more than I could fit into that tote. So I got everything I'll need over for chemical wise over at my parents' house. I'm gonna hook up to the trailer, but first I think I'm gonna just, before I hook up so I don't have to carry all these by hand, I'm gonna pile these onto the truck and go take these to the barn, and then I'll hook up to the trailer, and then I'll go finish spraying over here, and then I will see what time it is. I may just come get the I may just take this trailer over to my parents' house, and that may be all the time I have, or I could work on the strip till, plow some, get it greased and ready to go. The boys have a baseball game tonight. It's the end of their it's the end of season tournament, and they qualified for the tournament, and so we play tonight and tomorrow night for sure, double elimination, and then you just keep going. Could play through to the weekend, who knows. So it's still just like 4:30 I think now, and that's at 7:30, but I gotta be there by 7. It takes 30 minutes, so I got about 2 hours left. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably just have time to get the trailer dropped off, is about it, so stay tuned. It's hot. I decided not to hook up the trailer. I started to, and I got a lot of weight on there with all the chemical boxes on my back, and then adding that tote is extra full because I added some chemical from the other one in there. I was real squatty, so probably just do it in 2 trips. All right, I'm gonna go spray, and then I'll do something else. I got moved over and started on this last field that I was gonna do over here around the barn, and I made the perimeter except for the north end because of the south wind. I did not want to drift onto my neighbor, so I went along the power line wires, along my wheat in the south end. Tomorrow I come and do the north end, and then finish the rest of it. This field over here, it needs it, but there's still water standing up in the field that direction. I'll come back. I've got it's almost 6, and so my time is running short. I gotta get home so I can get changed and get to baseball, but my truck's loaded down with all that chemical. So the plan is, since I wasn't gonna have enough time to finish this, have enough chemical product but not enough time, I'm gonna just stop, and I'm gonna drop the chemical off at my parents' house on my way home, which is not really on the way, but I'm making it on the way. And then tomorrow I will finish this little 80 acres, which I've done about 20 of it, and then I'll try to hopefully have enough left to do kind of around the barn equipment, and then I'll move over to my parents, move the trailer, all the things, and just keep on trucking. At some point I got to get into strip tilling. I just can't decide if I should spray everything I can first, or just pause on spraying since the rest of it's not as thick, and start strip tilling, and then when the weeds get a little more out of control in other places, it'll be time to spray, and I'll need anyways. I'll just tell you when it's time to do that. You'll just know. It'll just happen. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you're gonna farm it.